I want us now to work on when we tap on this doctor, for example, we get directed to the doctor details screen. And for that, we can go to the doctor list style widget. So let's go to the doctor list style widget. And as you can see, a list style always has an on tap. So what I want us to do is that we want to navigate to the doctor details screen. And I'm going to create that screen right now. I'm going to call it doctor details screen. And the doctor details screen is going to be a consumer stateful widget like that. And this doctor details screen is going to take a doctor. So final doctor, because the details of that doctor. And I'm going to import the doctor here. And I'm going to add required this .doctor like that. So I need to go to routes and register that path. Here in the main, I can go and add the doctor details. So it's /doctor details. So I just copied it from my code. So uproute.doctor.name. So it's also going to take, it's taking a doctor. So if I add that, it's taking a doctor. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to go to the doctor details screen now. So the doctor details screen, if I can show the image. So the doctor details screen looks like this. So first of all, it shows the image of that doctor and also some of the information here, some of this about, and also the buttons at the bottom. So we are going to do that. So first of all, here we are going to return a safe area. The child is going to be a scaffold, which has an up bar that says book and this particular doctor. So I'm going to go to the doctor lister, because we want to know what we are doing. Context.pushNamed, uproutes.doctordetails.name, and then we pass the extra as the doctor. Okay, exactly what we need here. And that is fantastic. So if I save that, we start the app once again. So if I go now to doctors, and if I click on Sarah Kim, for example, again, as you can see, we get directed to this screen. And since there's a lot of information here, we are going to need, of course, to have scrolling capabilities. And therefore, in the body, I want a padding, and I want padding in all directions. So edge inserts.all, and I'm going to pass 8.0, and the child of that padding is going to be a single child scroll view, and the child is a column. Column has children. So the first is going to be an image. So size config. So I use clip rect because of the border radius .circular 20. So if you want that to have effect, you can add it instead of a clip rect. Alternatively, you can just create a container that has that border radius, and then you have this image network as the child of that container, and you will produce the same results. And then we are going to add a text. So I added a row here, okay, with the main axis alignment of space between, so that we can have spaces between them. So that is one is pushed up to the very far right, and the one to the very far left. Okay, so the icon is location on, and we have an expanded text widget with an overflow of text overflow.ellipsis. So again, here we can use import our rating stars here. And the text, we can say text is widget.doctor.ratings, and I'm going to add some spacing because there's a space between this and that. So I'm going to add some spacing here with a size box of height of 10. And now I want a row for this number and this message. Now this row, it has two containers. So the first container has a height of 40 and a width of 30% of the screen width. Okay, and it has a decoration. Of course, the color is colors.main color, our blue color, and has a border radius of circular 10.0, so 10 pixels. As you can see, that container has like rounded edges. Okay, and the child is a row, so it has the first row is an icon button. So for the phone number, I place the icon of call, which has a size of 30. Okay, and an expanded text, which has an overflow of text overflow.ellipsis, because sometimes the number can be large and it can go to the very end here. So we want to add the dot dot dot. That's the purpose of overflow, text overflow dot ellipsis line here. The other container here, okay, it's the message, and we are going to implement this here later, so that when we click on this, we get directly to the conversation screen where we can start having a conversation with this person. It has the similar configurations to the one for phone calls, but this one, of course, has an icon of message and has a text of message. So another thing that I'm going to create now is this, another row here with 3 containers. And this 3 container each container has a column, and the children of those columns is an icon and a text, icon and a text, and icon and a text. So, and I'm going to do that. Okay, so as you can see now, I have a row. It has a main axis alignment of space between, and it has 3 children. So each children is a container, and each container has a height of 100 and a width of 100, has a decoration of box decoration, a color of black 12. As you can see, it's a black that is faded, that is black 12, and a border radius of circular or of 20.0, so that we can have that rounded effect, as you can see. And therefore, inside it has a column, and it has a main axis alignment of center, so that all of them can be centered. And the first one has an icon of people, which has a size of 50, and a color of main color, our blue that is. And text is patience, okay. And the at the bottom here is the widget.doctor, the number of patients. So the number of patients that this doctor has had, and then we interpolate it with a plus at the end, okay? So 0 plus. So it's similar case for the other container. So this one is for widget.doctor.years of experience, okay, as you can see here. And the last container here inside of that row is the one for reviews, okay? And here I had recorded the text 1200. So this is just a hard-coded text. People should be able to go and add reviews, okay? Because I just thought that this tutorial will be very big if I added absolutely everything. So I just decided to hard code some things. Also, these patients, they should be loaded dynamically. Once maybe a person books an appointment, that appointment should be registered, and that should be marked as a patient. And therefore, that information should then be loaded here. And so instead of displaying 0, there should be the number of patients that they had bookings with. Okay. So the other thing that we need to do is now to load the about, and also working on how to set to book an appointment. Okay, so outside the row, we are going to add this sized box, and then we add the text about with that style. Okay, and then we add the text as widget.doctor.description, and below that we add the day, and we have some space at the bottom. So here, after the text, of course, it's another row. It has two items. The first one is an icon of calendar month, okay, and the second one, it's a container that is wrapped inside of a gesture detector, so that we can have that on top, so that we can be able to select a date. We are going to go on top here, and we are going to create the method to pick a date. We can have date time, select date, and then we are going to format that date. So I'm going to add the method to format that date. So this method, formatted date, is going to format the date that we select into this format here. So we are going to add a package called the Intel package that is going to help us with the formatting of this date. So go to pubspec.yaml file. I'm going to add the Intel package. So this is the Intel package, and I'm going to run pub-get. And with that, we have added the Intel package. So I can go back to doctor details screen. Okay, now I can import the Intel package. So let me now create a method that is going to show us the date picker, and then we can select a certain date, and then when we click on OK, we get that particular date. So this is the picked date, okay? So the initial date is, if we had already selected a date, it's going to show that, else it's going to show the current date, okay? The one that we are getting here using the datetime.now. So the first date the first date is going to be today, okay, now.year, now.month, now.day. So it's going to be that particular day. And the last date, I want it to be today's date plus that days. So, and therefore here we can use set state to now update the selected date to the picked date, okay? So that is the purpose of this set state. So we are going to update the UI with that. Okay, now at the bottom here, now this on top, we are going to call that method, okay? We are going to call that method pick date. And now the text here is going to be the selected date. If the selected date is not null, we show the formatted date, okay? As you can see, this formatted date returns a string, is a method that returns a string, okay? So we can pass that here at the bottom. Else, we are going to just show tap to select a date. So if I save that and hot reload, as you can see now, right now, we do not have as a date. That is why it's saying tap to select a date. But if I tap on that, as you can see now, we cannot select yesterday, okay? And we cannot select any months from there. But if we go here, again, it's that days. Now we cannot select like any other days here in June. So I'm going to select maybe 7th next week on Wednesday, and I'm going to click OK. And with that, it updates the day here. So I want us to do the same for the time, okay? So it's also going to be yet another row here. So this is another row here. So the first element of that row is the icon. The icon is access time. And we are going to create another method to allow us to pick the time. And we are also going to format that time and return a string that we are going to have here. Okay, so I'm just going to go at the very top here once again. Time of day, selected time. So this one was for formatting the date. And now I want one for formatting the time. Okay, so this is going to format the time. Okay, so this is how it's going to format the time, like 8:05 p.m., etc. Now, let us now work on a method that is going to allow us to select the time. So this is the method pick time. This method, so the initial time is going to be the time that was selected earlier, okay? If there was a time that was selected, else is going to show the current time, okay? Okay, so after that, now we are going to update the selected time, okay, to the picked time. And therefore now we can use this selected time at the bottom here. So if you come here at the bottom, as you can see, selected time is equals to, so if selected time is not equal to null, we show the formatted time, okay? Else, we show this text select time. So if I save this, let me restart the app. As you can see now, we have that select time, okay? So finally, we need a button to book an appointment. The button is going to be a common button with the method on top and the text book appointment. As you can see, like that. Hopefully, you can be able to pause, and maybe if you're coding along, you can be able to type every single line of code